All right. Well, welcome you guys. Um, just started the recording. For those of you who I haven't met, I'm Rachel. I am a nutritionist who has fallen in love with food and essential oils. I'm super passionate about teaching people how to live healthy lifestyles and just lifestyles that they love and thrive in. And so today I'm talking about toxins, what they are, why they're harmful, and then also some alternative solutions to switch some things out to increase your energy, to just help your overall health. I'll explain it all in a little bit. So let's get started. Um, the computer will work. All right, there we go. Okay, so what are toxins and what's the big deal? That's what I said I would talk about. So toxins can be from nature or man-made, but they cause adverse reactions in the body, cause imbalance in the body. And so our body does have mechanisms in place to um, dispose of and process a lot of toxins, but it has kind of a threshold to which it can do that. And so in today's society where there's just overload of toxins, new chemicals being used in different products yearly, monthly, daily, um, our bodies have become extremely toxic, which we're kind of starting to see a lot of the reactions or effects of that. And what's also so crazy is our country is kind of the worst at it. The US has only ever banned a total of 30 chemicals, but the European Union has banned about 1,300 chemicals. That is actually crazy. It's a big, big difference, and it really does play a big role in our bodies. And so, just to kind of get an idea of sometimes what toxins can do in the body, they can cause a lot of brain fog, weight gain because of a lot of hormone imbalance, a lot of oxidative stress, which can lead to cancer. So, you'll see a lot of toxins we talk about today are products that have toxins in them. There's like all these cancer concerns. It can cause a lack of focus and also a lot of inflammation. And so again, these can be kind of broad, but sometimes we can narrow it down to toxins being the root cause of a lot of these issues. Um, and so where are they found? Um, in most things, I would say. So tons of cleaning supplies are always going to be pretty full of toxins. So like laundry detergent, and on here we have dishwasher detergent, even things like deodorant. Now deodorant can be one of those really harmful things too, because you put deodorant on the armpit and there's a lot of lymph nodes in there. So your body will absorb a lot of those toxins and then block out your lymph nodes, which can also then lead to suppressed immune systems. And so toxins are a big deal. They're also in a lot of processed foods. I think we can kind of figure that one out pretty easily. Toothpaste is another one that can be pretty bad. Fragrances are incredibly toxic, even in like air fresheners or perfumes. Um, and then even in some of our like healthy quote unquote foods can have some toxins in them. Makeup is a really big one for women. And anything that you put on your skin, lotions, face washes, anything like that, you're gonna always want to be super aware of what you're putting on your body, because your skin is your largest organ, so it's going to absorb a ton of different stuff, and we can't control everything in our environment, even the things we breathe in, because there's so many toxins that we breathe in as well. So we can't control everything. So the things that you can control are really important to control. So I just want to talk a little bit about the foods because I'm a nutritionist. I can't help it. And I will always tell everybody all the time, eat more veggies. Always, always, always. But there is some things to be aware of. There's kind of the list that can be really helpful, called the Dirty Dozen and then the Clean 15. So the Dirty Dozen are going to be ones that have high amounts of herbicides, pesticides, anything like that. And so they're the ones that you're always going to want to buy organic. Organic is going to have less of those chemicals in them, so less harm on your body. And then the Clean 15 are the ones that have the least amount of pesticides, herbicides, chemicals. So they're ones that are pretty okay to buy just regular, save some money. But there's always going to be, I'll show you at the end as well, but washing your veggies with a specific veggie wash is going to be super important to help try and get as much of it off as you can. And obviously processed food, there's going to always be a ton of chemicals. I didn't have time to put in some examples of those, but a lot of packaged foods are always going to be that way. So you'll just have to pay attention. Organic is generally better, but not always. So educating yourself is huge. And this is where I will make my plug for reverse osmosis water. Again, especially for those of you who are in Colorado, everyone will say Colorado is the best water ever. And I will say, for my Waco friends, Colorado water is so much better than Waco, Texas. Waco, Texas is atrocious. But the standards that the U.S. and the states have for our water is not optimal for our health. And so you're going to get pesticides, herbicides, you're going to get pharmaceuticals in your water. You're going to get a whole slew of different things, a lot in our water. So being aware of what you're eating and drinking is always a big deal. And so this is where I will make my little plug for reverse osmosis water. And you can get filters for your house or look around. There's probably some sort of water store wherever you are at for reverse osmosis filtered or alkaline water, which should be that filtered plus added minerals. And so I wanted to quick go over some products with some toxins in it. Now, I think this one might have gotten out of place because I had a slide that explains the EWG. And okay, this is the one, actually, there it is. Okay. So first, since we were just talking about food, I just grabbed two of these. There's one website that's called What's on My Food, where you can start to see any of the pesticides, chemicals, herbicides, whatever. And two of the top foods on there are on the Dirty Dozen are going to be sweet bell peppers and apples. So I'll show you apples here in a second. But even on here, you can see that a majority or of most of sweet peppers that are tested, you're going to find about 53 pesticide residues on there. And on here, you can see that some of them are carcinogens, some of them are hormone disruptors, some of them are neurotoxins or toxic to the environment, which pesticides, that's kind of the idea. And so this one here has honeybee toxins specifically. And so this is another website that I would highly suggest looking on just if you're curious to educate yourself, simply because this one's really bad. 53 is a lot, and a lot of these things that are all in the food system we have is not always properly tested. The FDA will release and say thought of as like safe, which doesn't mean that they can make any sort of like health claims or anything, but they're okay to use. So, just be aware of that. This one is apples, and they have about 47, which is again super high, carcinogens, hormone disruptors, neurotoxins, and developmental and reproductive issues. So this is why buying organic actually does change things, and doing a vegetable wash is so important. Now I want to move on to fragrances before we look at some of those other examples. And fragrances, you guys, are huge hormone disruptors. So what that means is you breathe them in, you put them on your skin. They can cause a lot of allergic reactions for some people, but they will also be absorbed into your system and start acting like some of your hormones, or cause a lot of your hormones to get out of balance. And so I was doing some research on some fragrances, and there was one study that I came along that was studying a lot of just the mainstream, like Chanel and big name brands of perfumes. And so companies can use the word fragrance for a lot of different things. There's no like super defined word, or there's not a big definition for it. So they can use different chemicals that they want. So a lot of these chemicals that they're using to make this pretty smells that everyone likes could even be like petrochemicals, which is like from petroleum. And so they have about over 3,000 chemicals that they use, and it all goes under this one word of fragrance. 3,000 different things that could do 3,000 plus things to our body, all in one word. And so again, we just don't know fully what they're doing, each individual molecule, what they're doing. We can look at a lot of them as a whole, and see that they are affecting a ton of estrogen levels. So women are highly affected by a lot of these fragrances. Also men, it does throw out their balance as well. But a ton of them also affect the thyroid, which is also where either weight gain or energy and all those things can decrease. And so to talk a little bit more about those hormone problems, there is a like massive amount of women, about 80% of women, who struggle with some sort of hormone imbalance. So that's like irregular periods, early puberty, PMS, all the things I have listed here, breast cancer, endometriosis, PCOS, a whole slew of things. And so cleaning out the body of toxins is like incredibly massive for women specifically. And so these hormone disruptors I keep talking about are also the ones that specifically mess with estrogen, are called xenoestrogens. And so those can also affect men, because men have some estrogen in their bodies. So it can throw out the balance between testosterone and estrogen in the body, and has been shown to cause some breast cancer in men. They also, like I said, can affect the thyroid and adrenal hormones, and which again will affect the rest of your body, because specifically thyroid and adrenal are metabolism, or how your body's just regularly functioning, and whether it's in a fight or flight mode or a rest and recover mode. And the other thing is too, is autoimmune is growing like crazy, and these fragrances have been known to cause a lot of different autoimmune diseases. There's more that are popping up and people are discovering. So it's just kind of a bigger problem than a lot of people understand. And so this is where I was talking about a little bit about the Environmental Working Group. They are a organization that tests so many different of our products, and knowing if it's toxic, if it's good, if it's not, those kinds of things. So there's kind of two different keys I have here. For a lot of their cleaning supplies, it'll be this one right over here. And as you can see, it's like A to F. Lowest concern, meaning that the chemicals or the things that are used in the product are good for or decent for people's health, and then also the environment. And right here it talks about good ingredient disclosure, which means that the company is telling you where they're getting their ingredient from and what actual form it's in or something along those lines. And then goes down to the worst. And then there's a couple other that go 1 to 2 or 1 to 10 around the same thing. So I'll just show you a couple examples. So this here is laundry detergent, and it is given a big fat F. Mostly because of this ingredient right here. I can't fully read it on my screen. You guys might be able to. But it's respiratory effects, I'm trying to see, nervous system toxicity, things like that. So it's clearly not a helpful chemical. So this is just an example. You guys can look up a lot of your products that you have already. But let's move on to the next one. This one is some toothpaste. Now what's also kind of crazy is this ingredient right here that's rated a 7 is triclosan, and that specific chemical was actually just banned, not the whole chemical itself, but the FDA said that it couldn't be put in soaps because of the toxic effects of it, but it's still allowed in toothpaste because they say it's effective at fighting gingivitis. Now, my friends, I know of plenty of other things that will help against gingivitis that does not cause the toxicity that this one does. So just a little bit backwards to me. You can make your own opinions, but that is nonetheless interesting. This here is dishwasher detergent. One of its top ingredients also is an F. So there's definitely alternatives for this one too, but again, if we're having even if we're trying to have fruits and vegetables and things like that, but we're not washing them, or they're some of the dirty dozen, so we have those chemicals, and then we're eating off plates that have chemicals in them, we're just ingesting a ton, and you just never really think about it. And then this here I thought was pretty crazy when I was looking into some lotions. This here is Gold Bond's Ultimate Healing Lotion, and it is almost a 10. It's a 9 on the EWG. Because of allergy concern, there's a little bit of cancer concern, and then developmental concern. So I mean, it's just, again, backwards to me that something that is supposed to be healing to the body could actually be possibly causing allergies for you, or nervous system things, or even possibly cancer. These fragrances and polyparabens are really bad too. I had one other that I wanted to show. Even kind of goes to show that even some of the marketed as the super clean, healthy cleaners or non-toxic stuff can still be maybe not exactly what you thought. I would have guessed a Mrs. Meyer's would be like an A on the EWG, but it's actually showing that some of them is a C. A lot of it has to do with those fragrances that we talked about that are going to be those hormone disruptors because they are synthetic. And then another 2 ingredients that are D's on there, and then a lot of them were C's. So I would just encourage you guys to either go on the EWG website and look it up, or there's an app that you can get, and I'll kind of just show you. It looks, I don't know if it's helpful, but it's this one right here. If anybody can see it, it's called Healthy Living, and you can click on it, and it pops up like this, and you just click on a button right here, and you can scan the things that you have in your house, and if it's been looked at by the EWG, you can see what it's rated. When I first learned that, I was just going around my house like just shocked. But enough to try. I don't want to try and scare you guys. Just be aware. But I want to show you solutions. Um, and so the big thing about reducing your toxic load is it will increase your energy. It will allow your body to balance its hormones, and you will feel so much better. You will actually feel balanced. You might not feel the anxiousness or like at the drop of a hat, or maybe some of the rotating depression some people have. It'll help you lose weight if you're trying to lose weight, increase quality life and those kinds of things. And totally, it's a huge preventative health kind of a thing because it will reduce your likelihood to disease. Because if you don't have all these toxins causing these things in your body, then you will obviously not be getting those diseases. And so the products that I have found the most beneficial for me would be a lot of these doTERRA products. So I use essential oils to get fragrances out of my life. And then also quite a few doTERRA products that helps me reduce my toxic load, but also support my body to get a lot of the toxins out that I can't fully control. So I'm just going to show you guys a good slew of those. So this is the best picture to kind of show a decent range of some oils and products through doTERRA. And so I will first just talk about, gosh, what do I want to talk about first? I'll talk about some oils first. Now we saw like some lotion, like the Gold Bonds lotion, that could be really bad. So I'll just talk about maybe replacements for some of those. This one, or first I will say, doTERRA's products are all a 1 to a 3 on the EWG. So anything in here is always going to be non-toxic. And so the first thing that I would say for those of you looking for new lotion or something like that is right here. This is a unscented lotion, super hydrating and all those things. And then you can add whatever fragrances you want with any essential oils. So I would use like a lavender that's super calming for your skin, or a frankincense, also really calming, but it's regenerative. So a lot of the things that we have put on our body that could be toxic or harmful or causing like cancerous cells or something like that, frankincense will help to balance that out and help your cells reproduce in the way that they're supposed to. And so those are super helpful. If anybody has like pain or anything like that, this one right here, Deep Blue, another lotion that takes away a lot of pain, so you could replace it with like an icy hot or something that's toxic. Another oil I'll quickly talk about as well is lemon essential oil. Lemon, any citrus oils are always going to be cleansing. Lemon and On Guard. On Guard is the immune one. Those two together will kill off bacteria and viruses and all those kinds of things. And lemon will take off like grease or grime or something like that. So you can make DIY like cleaners, and they're super cheap, super simple with those two oils. And you'll see here, I'll just go on Guard. On Guard, like I said, is known as like the immune oil for doTERRA, but you can use this oil specifically in so many areas because it is antibacterial, fungal, viral, and so it'll go through a lot of cell membranes and kill off viruses. And so on here you'll see, like we talked about toothpaste. This On Guard toothpaste I use all the time and I absolutely love. So I know I'm not getting toxins in that way. And then there's the mouthwash with it as well. There was a really cool study that was done on this mouthwash that showed cleansing your mouth, because oral health is a huge indicator of the rest of your body. Or that this mouthwash was helpful to balancing the pH in people's bodies. So that's super cool too. And then on here is like a hand sanitizer and a soap wash. So you can kind of start getting rid of like the soaps and things like that that can be toxic. And then On here also, Melaleuca is another oil that you can use. That's also antibacterial and viral. I use it also for the immune system, but like I make my own like toilet bowl wash and use Melaleuca and lemon. And so anyways, there's a ton of different recipes that you can use with these, and they don't cause the same things that we were talking about earlier. Now the next thing that I want to talk about, I was kind of talking about the food aspect earlier. And so this right here is the Lifelong Vitality Pack. And the Lifelong Vitality Pack is something that I swear by. I have taken so many supplements in kind of the course of some of my years just being a health guru, and I have never felt the way as good as I do but without taking these. And so in here is and this is a great way to support your body to get out the toxins and fill your body with the things that it needs. And so there's 3 different packs in there. The first one is the multivitamin, and it is a plant-based multivitamin, so it's all the plants that you need, and they are in the form that is most bioavailable, which means you'll absorb the most of it and use the most of it. It's with different plants and things that help with absorption, and some herbs and things like that. And then there's another one in there that's an omega-3. And now this one, omega-3s, in my work, I have always seen that so many people are deficient in omega-3s. There was a study I saw that even went as far as saying 99% of people are deficient in omega-3s. And so this specific omega-3 is, again, going to be super clean from fish and things that are ethically caught and don't have like all the crazy mercury or anything like that in there. But they also have some plant-based oils and essential oils. So there is going to be some frankincense in there. Frankincense, like we said, is going to be your cellular health oil. So it's going to build up your body, help it get rid of the things that it needs to get rid of. And then there's also a couple other ones in there, and I'm kind of blanking on them, but again, super nice to get some of your oils into you internally. And then there's also the third piece that is the cellular vitality complex. So it's a bunch of different herbs and that are in a combination, again, that is going to help your body detox and boost it up to work at its optimal level. So with that said, these are doTERRA is an essential oil company, but these are the #1 selling product, which is kind of crazy. So these are kind of just some short or just a couple different ways to start incorporating some non-toxic products in your life to help boost up your system. And again, all these oils in here too have so many different uses. And so it's super helpful. And for those of you who are watching who do not have oils yet, this is one of the kits I wish I would have gotten at first, just because you can see you can kind of do an overhaul. But for those of you who are interested in oils, this is one of the kits that you can get with all of the things that you need to kind of start getting rid of those toxins and then start building up your body. There's a lot of these in here that I don't really have time to cover yet, which if you wanted this kit or wanted some oils, I will 100% go over that with you. But there's oils in here that will support your body as well to help it function optimally. But if you're like, I cannot spend $550, then there's other options. Now I'm just going to take some time here really quick and pause and say that there's 3 different ways to get these products in your home. You can, 1, do it by buying at retail, contacting me and buying it at retail, which is 25% more than the wholesale price. Or you can get a wholesale membership, which is just like a Costco or a Sam's Club membership, and that's $35, and then you can get whatever products or oils that you want at that wholesale price, and you'll have that membership for a full year. And then after getting a membership, you will also get help from me on how to use your oils, how to use your account, education, the whole slew. Or you can buy a kit like the one I just showed you on the other page, or this one right here. And these kits will waive that $35 fee, and then you will save extra on top of that 25%, and getting some of your oils in your house. So I will say this kit, you save over $200 on top of that wholesale membership. This one's about $75 and this one's about $30, I believe. And so anyways, these other two kits, you can get those oils I was talking about, plus some other ones that are going to support your health, and a diffuser, which is great for also cleaning the air, getting out some other fragrances that you use. And these all come in the big bottles, so these are 15 milliliter bottles, and that kit is $275. And then this kit over here is the Family Essentials, which is definitely the more affordable option if you are tight on a budget. This one is all of those same oils that I was showing you earlier, or that I mentioned, and then but they're all in the 5 milliliter bottles. It doesn't come with a diffuser, which is kind of a bummer, but it is you do save about $35-ish by getting this kit as well. And so if any of you watching this recording have questions on memberships, on oils, on non-toxic products, then you just contact me, and I can help you get all set up and answer those questions for you. Now, for my people who already have their oils, I want to first show you or tell you about some oils that you can use to make some stuff if you're not ready to buy all of it yet, and then I'll show you some other products that I use. And so this one, like I said earlier, the On Guard and Lemon and Melaleuca are kind of the top ones. Wild Orange is going to be a lot like this lemon, just another scent for making household cleaners. And I make my own laundry detergent because I haven't bought any from doTERRA yet. I have made my own dishwasher detergent, and really the only other things that I have needed to buy to make these things are going to be unscented cast iron soap. I use some vinegar and baking soda. I'd use washing soda for the dishwasher. And so, I mean, making these things is super, super affordable. Based on how many like drops and stuff you use, it can be about $1.50 or less to make a lot of these things, and they last you quite a while. Now, if you're looking to like cut back on the toxins that you put on your skin, Melaleuca, like I said, or I don't think I mentioned that actually, Melaleuca is going to be cleansing for your skin, so you can make like a face wash or something like that. I make a face wash, which is just water, cast iron soap, and some Melaleuca. I use a couple other oils too, but super cheap, super simple. And then lavender and frankincense are really good skin oils too. Now I just wanted to share some of these with you guys as well, to make life a little simple. This On Guard concentrate cleaner, super simple. It smells awesome. On Guard smells like Christmas, so I really like it. But again, this is going to be super cheap too because it's a concentrate. So if I'm remembering right, it's about 2 tablespoons of this in 24 ounces of water, like for like a everyday household cleaner, multi-purpose cleaner. And so again, super cheap. This right here is the laundry detergent, and that one is like about 64 loads, so it lasts you a long time. Again, pretty cheap. So all of these like natural switches, everyone kind of thinks all the natural stuff is always going to be so expensive, so difficult, but really it's not. It's going to be about the same as a lot of the products that you guys buy, or if you want to do DIY, it's just going to take a little bit more intentionality. This here is the sanitizing mist. Hand sanitizer can be pretty toxic too. And so I use the On Guard hand sanitizing spray just because soaps and hand sanitizers can be toxic. Now, I just have to briefly touch on the hair care stuff. As you can see, I've got some curly, sometimes big hair. And this stuff has helped me tremendously. I also use, well, one, this makes my hair super soft. You can't see it because it's curly hair, but it does. And I also use, doTERRA has a like almost gel. For my curly hair, I need a gel. So I use that gel and then a root to tip serum, and it has helped my hair so much. And again, normally priced, because there's gonna be, like, I was looking at like Nexus or something like that. They have decent, like they have some fragrances and some other toxic chemicals in theirs, and it's gonna be, theirs is more expensive than this. And so anyways, I have loved that. Down here, I have the skincare lines that you guys can use. This one, the HD Clear, is for the like acne prone skin, or if you're trying to get rid of a lot of breakouts. That's the one that's going to be really good for you. This is kind of like the spa care. And then Virage is going to just be the normal everyday cleaner, cleanser, kind of the anti-aging. They have the anti-aging serum in it too. So anyways, again, I could probably talk forever about toxins and all of these products, but I am going to stop the recording, and anybody who has questions, we can answer questions. And then for those of you who are watching later on, I will send out a Google Doc to you afterwards, just to get some of your feedback and understand where you are thinking, where you're at with all these toxins. And anyways, thank you for watching. I will stop this.